Hi everyone, this is my third video lecture in the Bangla lesson series. In the last video, I showed everyone the vowels in their base form and applied, and also the consonants. And so now you may be wondering, how should I go around about practicing this, and how should I memorize them? Because there are a lot, and for some of you this may be the first language you're learning outside of your mother tongue. Now this is probably the most tedious part, because I can't learn the language for you. This is entirely up to you, but I can help you by giving you resources that will make it easier for you to practice and learn Bangla. What I did to get myself familiar with the language is I wrote names. So for example, in this book here, I went about writing different people's names. Abdul, Abhijit, Abhishek, Aditi, Akash. I just wrote them all in Bangla. They're transliterations. Okay, notice how they all start with "a," right? This was a practice to get me familiar with writing that letter specifically, but at the same time, by practicing and writing these names, you also get yourself familiar with the other letters. And with Abdul, for example, combined letters. Abdul. There's no vowel between bd. It's Abdul. And so you can see there's a ba and a da kind of combined in there with the ukar. Abdul. So when you go about practicing these names with their English and their Bangla form, you'll already know what the name should sound like as you write it in Bangla. So it's easier to catch yourself when you're making any mistakes. So I just went around practicing this. I did a few pages of it. You can see I only did like 5 names, I think, per day. No, not per day. I probably did like 2 pages a day, but I split up into 5 segments so I could limit my space. I don't want to take up the entire area writing just names or writing one name at a time. I made 5 columns, and in each column I had a separate name, and I just went down the line so I could practice each name maybe like 20 something times. And the website I went to find this list of names is right here. behindthename.com/name/whatever. Anyway, you can see they have the transliteration, the English, and the Bangla. And this is the important part because it also shows you how to spell it. You can see Abdul, Ba-da. They're combined right here. Right there. Bda, Abdul. And you can go down the list and there are like a billion names. And this will help get you familiar with like basically all the letters and also like how to pronounce them. See here? You have, where'd it go? Krishna. You see the ref? We went over that the other day. Krish. And then you have Nia. Nia is combined with Shah. It makes Krishna. Krishna. Alright? So, if you know your consonants, and you'll get more familiar with them as you write these names. If you know your consonants, pronouncing these and spelling them becomes much, much easier. And your handwriting will also improve. My handwriting is not that good yet, but it's getting better because I'm practicing by writing these names down. Okay? And another app that you can find in the Google Play Store, I'm not sure if it's on the Apple App Store, but this app is called Barnoparichay. This literally translates to letter familiarize. So kind of familiarizing yourself with the letters. And it has a bunch of good stuff, lots of good stuff. For example, you have this chalkboard sort of subsection of the app where it shows you a sort of blank slate with the underlined version. No, a very light gray version. And using your chalk, you can write in white over that, and it will show you the strokes. You can see an arrow right there. Yeah, you can see the arrows. It's showing you like the order at which to write each letter. So you eventually can start writing these much more easily, all the letters. It also has not a guessing game, but this section of the app, basically what they do is they have a sound right here, and you click on the sound, or it will automatically come up, but if you didn't hear it the first time, you can click on the sound, and it will create one of the letters. Like for example here, it's ontostia, right? It will say ontostia, and you will have to scroll along this list of letters and tap on the correct one, and that will also help you get you familiar with the letters. This is kind of similar. I think this one is actually like the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, getting all those letters in order. So that's that. I don't think this is absolutely necessary to getting familiar with the letters, but you can do that. These are kind of like A is apple, B is banana, right? That's what this is. They also have nursery rhymes, so you can listen to those. And here's where it's a little bit more difficult for foreigners trying to learn Bangla, not like Bangla kids or teens who have Bangla speaking parents at home. This is the part where it's hard for foreigners who are trying to learn Bangla. Actually getting the vocabulary down, that is probably the most difficult part, because people who are raised in Bangladeshi households or Kolkatan households where they speak Bangla, they're already used to listening and responding in Bangla, so they know the words, they know what they sound like, they're familiar with pronunciation and everything. But foreigners or first-time learners, this is like completely new, so you're having to just you're on a fresh slate learning new vocabulary. Every word is new vocab for you. And really, what I would suggest are flashcards. You can use the Memorize app, and you can just flip through that. There is one set of flashcards for Bangla, but those are like higher level words that you might not need to know, like distillation or comprise or hierarchy, stuff like that. That's not immediately necessary for you to understand Bangla. First, you know, like cat, dog, walking, eating, sleeping, those kinds of words. So when you go to memorize, you're definitely going to have to make yourself these flashcards. And if you really want to be able to, you know, practice, I highly suggest finding a pen pal. There are probably apps for that somewhere around. You can also use Google Translate. It's not the best, alright? Many people who are learning languages are totally against Google Translate because it's not 100% accurate. But that resource is available for you if you don't have any native speakers around that who can help you develop your vocabulary. So yeah, for foreigners or first-time learners, you can find a pen pal or find a neighbor who speaks Bangla, or use Memorize, a flashcard app, right? And then also use Barnoparichay. This is like the most important. This is for non-native speakers and native speakers alike. This is definitely a good resource. And then also practice your writing. Writing is also important, right? See here, I practiced. I'm already familiar. Just after like 3 pages, I already got most of the letters down. Excuse the handwriting, but anyway. So yes, definitely work on finding people, building connections with people who are willing to support you through your Bangla learning process. For those of you who have Bangla speaking parents at home, they'll definitely be willing to help you learn. They may not have the time to do it, but I'm sure as you self-practice, there will be times where you'll be able to ask a question or two to them and they'll be grateful to help you. Anyway, I guess that's it for this lecture. It wasn't very informative, but it was more me helping you guys get resources to learning the language. In the next video, I think I'm going to bring in a book and we'll read it together.